Well, this morning I have been extending contour 3. I had some cover crop seeds for winter, dropping below 15 degrees overnight now, and I believe that's the level at which winter seeds start being able to germinate best. So I soaked those seeds in a mixture of worm tea and sea salt. I broadcast them along the length here. It's pretty hard to broadcast wet seeds, but I used a shovel, little hand trowel, and just kind of shook them off it, and I went back and forward a few times, filling in the gaps. And then I dug the little mini swale and use that to cover the seeds. So there might be some seeds not covered by very much. This is a method I have used when I've dug each of my other garden beds, and I think it's worked well. They've always come up. It's interesting how uneven sowing of the seeds will result in different amounts of different seed coming up in different locations. For example, this other end of contour 3, I had a lot of crotalaria down this end, and it seems that all the sunflower ended up down the other end. There were some sunflowers down this end, but not so many. Interesting, when I did bed 2, I had a lot of peas germinate. It seems the winter mix that I've got has all the summer seeds as well as the winter seeds. So I guess I'll see a different looking cover crop here than I saw there when I planted the summer lot. That's my bed started. Next process is to measure out where the next 2 fig plants are going to go, because there's number 1. I'm going to put them 3 metres apart because they're quite spreading when they're full. I think the other one goes right under this grass pile. I might have to move that this week as well. Good morning. I beat the sun up again this morning. Lovely foggy morning. It's very exciting putting in a new veggie garden, new possibilities, planting new plants and watching them grow and change. I'd like to show you my progress on contour 3. As I intended, I've put another bed here. As my tradition is, I sprinkled a mixed cover crop on the top side of the bed, and you can see some of it coming up. This is all part of the cover crop. That will help capture the water and help increase fertility, and also, equally as important, it will crowd out and compete with the grass that wants to grow there. Unfortunately, the chooks got out and had a dig in this. Perennial problem for anyone who has chooks and gardens. You either have chooks who are locked up all the time, or you have gardens that are regularly attacked. But the cover crop is coming up quite nicely. I have watered it a couple of mornings because now that we're deep into autumn, our rain has stopped here. There's a seed that didn't get covered. It's a seed that's still on the plant. As intended, I planted 3 fig plants here. It looks like this one's doing okay. We've got a new shoot here as well as here, so that one's doing okay. This one, well, the shoots that were there, okay, that might be a new leaf since I planted it. Not. It fell off. Okay, and that fell off. I have to make sure I'm watering that one adequately. This jacaranda may be competing for the water. This fig plant was planted 6 weeks before the others. They were all in different stages of growth when they were planted. Those 2 were actually small cuttings, had roots. Oh yes, my chop and drop here. I pruned the lily pillies that we have growing near the rainwater tank. Came in very handy. My coffee plant isn't doing so well. She's not happy and I'm not sure why. Looks like lots of new growth, new shoots here. So do they lose their leaves in winter? I wouldn't think that looks like winter leaf loss. Maybe thirsty. This volunteer tomato is getting rather exciting. Look at the size of these. Not a cherry tomato. I'm happy. And that could very easily be 2 different types of tomatoes here too. Looking at the new growth here, the shape of that compared with the new growth over here. I don't know, this looks bigger compared to this. And even these leaves have a slightly different shape. So maybe I've got 2 different types of tomato here. I've been growing tomatoes for quite some time. Here I've had lots of bugs attacking them. Even the cherry tomatoes have been thoroughly attacked. But it has only been this month, May, that I've been getting cherry tomatoes that haven't been attacked. So I don't know if that's something that's common in this area. This is my first May with a garden on this property. So I'm still learning. There's a lot to learn. We moved in here 1 year ago. I planted my first tree in October 2023, and some of these beds have only been planted recently. Like this one was only planted in March this year, and this one was May, and that soil on the veggie garden side there was only put there in April. So this garden is not very old, and I'm still learning about this property, so we will see how tomatoes go for the rest of the season. This apple was heavily beset by aphids. I would squash the aphids whenever I came. I put some pyrethrum spray on a couple of times, And then I proceeded to just pour worm tea with sea salt over the leaves, maybe once a week. And it seemed that that was enough to help it fight off the aphids. I suspect as the garden becomes more mature, I will be able to attract a lot more ladybirds, and then that should result in a lot more beneficial insects competing with the harmful insects, and my apple trees here should have a better go of it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.